Basketball fans, welcome back. So I was expecting the Warriors to finish off the Houston Rockets in 5 games, but boy was I wrong. I was geared, I was tuning in, and before the Lakers versus Wolves matchup, we had the Houston Rockets going up against the Golden State Warriors. This game happened early in the morning, just like I mentioned early in the previous video. I was expecting the Warriors to go ahead and finish them off, but unfortunately, the two-seeded Houston Rockets decided to, force a game 6. And in this game, one thing that was intriguing was the history that the Warriors made. So the Warriors made an ugly playoff history in the game 5 loss, where the starters only combined for 40 points, which is the fewest by a team in playoff history. So he has Stephen Curry 13 points, Jimmy Butler 8 points, Brandon Pojemski with 8 points, Buddy Hield 4, and Draymond Green with 7 points. So this was by far the worst. And in this game, they lost 131-116 to the Houston Rockets. So this is crazy. And the Warriors just couldn't follow through their 3-1 first round lead over the Houston Rockets and win game 5. I was expecting them to win in 5 games. And the number 2 seeded Houston Rockets, I feel like they looked great in this game 5, and majority of the time the NBA mainstream media gave the nod to the Warriors. Stephen Curry is there, Jimmy Butler is there, Draymond Green is there. Means that this is the first time you're seeing a contending Warriors team without a Klay Thompson in there, so it just hits different. So this was a must-win game. It was a winner-go-home situation, and the Rockets forced a game 6. And this is necessary because now they're going to go back to the home ground for the Golden State Warriors team, and we're going to see some good basketball. So the Rockets have been defensive specialists all season, but the Warriors have found ways to consistently score enough to edge out the Rockets for a win. So the story flipped its script in game 5 as the Rockets defenders did one of the greatest jobs we've seen in NBA playoffs history, in modern playoffs history. So the Rockets held the Warriors starters to only 40 points among 5 players, the lowest number of points ever scored by a starting unit in playoff history. So this was insane because Stephen Curry was only held to 13 points. That was 4 of 12, ending the night as the highest scoring starter. Brandon Pojemski, 3 of 7 shooting, Jimmy Butler, 2 of 10. Both managed to score just 8 points, while Draymond Green put up 7 points on 3 of 4 field goal shooting. Draymond Green, it was interesting because Draymond Green, he was started to be one of the guys who was supposed to win the Defensive Player of the Year, but even Mobley won it. So I saw a couple of people saying otherwise, like Draymond Green should have won it. But hey, the Houston Rockets, they're a top 5 defensive team, especially with Ime Udoka coaching this unit. There was good stable of players in there, so it was a difficult matchup. That's the reason as to why the Houston Rockets are a 2 seed. So with the Warriors scoring 36 points through these 4, Buddy Hield made it a crisp 40 for the starting units with his own 4 points for 2 of 6 field goal shooting. So this was sad. So the Warriors scored 116 points as a team because Moses Moody came off the bench to score 25 points, out of 18, with double-digit outings from Kevin Knox II. He had 14 points on 5 of 13 shooting, and Pat Spencer, who was 19 points on 5 of 7 shooting. So this was the worst I've seen the Warriors look like. And honestly, with that move what they did mid-season to acquire Jimmy Butler, I've always felt that the Warriors have what it takes to go ahead and compete for a title. Even with that 2022 championship that they won, I've always felt like the Warriors had what it takes to go ahead and win it. And I won't stop saying that because, this is one game. Even we saw like in 2022, the time the Warriors won the title, there was a game that they played against the Grizzlies and they got blown out brutally, but they were able to still go ahead and win. Those games that maybe they just didn't have it. I'm not a Warriors fan by any stretch, but hey, I was expecting them to at least finish off the Rockets and move on to the second round so they can see the matchup between the Wolves and Warriors, because we saw Anthony Edwards in the series during this season say he wants to meet the Warriors in the postseason and he has his chance. So will the Warriors be able to close it out, or we're just waiting? So the Warriors starters had nothing they could do to change their fortunes through the game, both on offense and defense. And the aggressive defense coming from the Rockets was the main reason as to why the Rockets stayed alive. So Amen Thompson had one of the best defensive performances you've seen in the playoffs this season, with 5 aggressive steals that he notched in just 12 minutes of action for his total 34 minutes. So the Houston Rockets have been one of those teams that I've been monitoring this season, and they have been playing very good basketball. I've been monitoring them together with the Detroit Pistons, because the way they play the game is just different, and it just goes on well. So the Houston Rockets, the starters were cooking on offense, led by Fred VanVleet. He had 26 points on 8 of 13 shooting. Amen scored 25 points, 8 of 12 shooting, alongside his defense, while Dylan Brooks caught fire for 24 points of 7 of starting shooting. It's funny to me. I was expecting the matchup between Dylan Brooks and Draymond Green to be one of the ages. I was like, this is that time. This is the time where Dylan Brooks is going to go ahead and do a number on Draymond. But you could see in this one, Draymond Green didn't have it at all. He only had a measly 7 points. And Dylan Brooks, he had one of his best performances. I mean, I've not seen Dylan Brooks be that guy who's like that lead scorer like that, but in this one he was good. These 3 points will have been enough, but Alperen Şengün's 15 points out of 69 shooting with 9 boards and 9 assists were also integral for the win. So Alperen Şengün has also been the best. He has added so much versatility to that Houston Rockets team. So this was a much needed win for the Houston Rockets, who have the ability to force a game 7 if they go ahead and win game 6. So the next game will be at Golden State's Chase Center, because the Houston Rockets had home court advantage and they defended home court in game 5. So game 6 will be at the Chase Center, and there's a high likelihood it's either one or two outcomes. It's either the Houston Rockets force a game 7, or the Warriors just finish off the series at home. So that's something that the Houston Rockets want to happen, but hey, the basketball gods will decide. So holding Curry to just 13 points or Butler to 8 aren't likely outcomes again, especially they're playing against their home fans. So the games, the way the playoffs is so unpredictable, and anything can happen in the postseason. That's one thing that I've seen, and that's something that will continue to happen. And given the way the NBA postseason has been, it's been a movie. I mean, the Rockets versus the Warriors has been spectacular. Lakers versus Timberwolves, spectacular. We have seen the Denver Nuggets going up against the Los Angeles Clippers, and that one might go 7 games. I'm not sure, because the Denver Nuggets are up 3-2. And right now, the only two teams that have managed to make it to the second round of games are the Memphis Grizzlies. Though that's not Memphis Grizzlies, but the OKC Thunder. They swept the Memphis Grizzlies. I don't know why I mentioned Memphis Grizzlies. Maybe it's because of Ja Morant, who got swept, and he didn't even want the smoke from the NBA media. So hey, it is what it is. He even covered his hand on the camera. So all I'm just saying is OKC and the Timberwolves made it, and we're waiting on the outcome of the series with the Denver Nuggets versus the Clippers. Who is going to make it to the next round, and also the Houston Rockets versus the Warriors. So those are the 2 series that I'm also watching. I mean, the OKC Thunder have had they've been resting a lot because they're waiting to see that series, and might go ahead and be very fresh when they meet the window of the Denver Nuggets versus the Clippers in that series in the first round. And also, the Minnesota Timberwolves have taken a break. You're going to see them have a break. They're going to wait to see Game 6 and Game 7 between the Rockets and the Warriors. So, much deserved break there. So, it is what it is. So, do drop me your comments down in the comment section down below. I mean, do you think the Warriors can make it to the NBA Finals? I mean, they're the only team that I feel like they have a chance. And I feel like this is that game that they had. And they have 2 more tries to close out the Houston Rockets, and I don't think they have too much pressure like that, because they're up 3-1, they're still up 3-2. So, I mean, they're my pick to make it to the NBA Finals. I feel like they're the team that is all rounded with Jimmy Butler there. I know he's been bumped up a bit, but there's a higher likelihood that the Warriors can be able to go ahead and do it. And also in the East, we have seen the Pacers. They beat the Bucks. We've seen the Cleveland Cavaliers sweep. We have seen that sweep. The Cavaliers swept the Heat, and man, it's been tough. I mean, the Pistons and Knicks is one interesting matchup. And man, I mean, I've been loving the postseason. I'll be releasing videos talking about this. So do drop me your comments down in the comment section down below on what you think about this. I'm going to talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.